Happy Tuesday. Hi. We'll wait and see if anybody wants to join today. I know I didn't give any warning or anything that I was going to go live today, and we don't usually go live on Tuesdays, but here we are. Also, don't make fun of my lips. I put on like a dark color earlier, and then Bronx and I were playing, and I was kissing on him, and then it just smudged everywhere, and I just put something over it with a different color, and now they look crazy. And anyways, hello, officially bubbly. Hello, Tigo Beaties, Katie. Hey, Bianca. Hey, Bruce and Carol and Pokey. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Bianca, before I get ahead of myself, I asked you yesterday for your Cash App or if you have a PayPal or something. And I don't know if you put it in the chat because I forgot to go back and look. If you have a Cash App or PayPal, Bianca, can you please put one in the comment section? Also, Bianca, before I get started, I asked also for Outcast Cash App, and I know somebody sent it, but I just want to make sure I have the right one. And I show one here. Can you see it? It says Outcast Abdallah. Is that his? It says Outcast 727. I just want to make sure it's his before I send it. Okay, perfect, Bianca. Thank you very, very, very much. Hi guys, how's everybody's Tuesday? How is everybody's Tuesday? All right, I'm going to start with this little bugger that I got right here just because I talked about, hey, Fizzy. Okay, good. Yes, Bianca, that's the one I saw. I just wanted to make sure it was his. We talked a little bit yesterday about the whole David thing, and I was explaining it to you. So I'm just going to retell you again, just with pictures, though. So here we go. Let's see. Well, that didn't make it any better. Here is David D4VD. His real name is David Anthony Burke, and as of right now, he is 20 years old. He's an R&B singer. This is Celeste Rivas Hernandez. She is 14. She did not make it to her 15th birthday, and as of 2 weeks ago, her body was found in a trunk. They met when she was 11 and he was 16. Celeste has been found in the trunk of David's Tesla in the front trunk area, and she was found September 8th. She was dismembered. They only found her head and torso, which was wrapped in black garbage bags in the trunk. David, as of today, has been reported to be on the run. That is the situation. So I just wanted to show you guys like what they looked like and what was going on. She was 11 and he was 16 when they met. She was 14 when she passed. And the thing about it is he would go pick her up. Her family knew that he was coming to pick her up. And he reported the Tesla missing, but it was like after the fact, right? And then my whole thing is, if you were with her every day, you would go pick her up and then she would spend months and months and months with you. And then you'd drop her off like 6 months later back at home. How come when she was missing, you didn't like wonder where she was? That's what gives it away, you ding dong. So yeah, now my nose is running. So yeah, that is the situation with the PDF file David Anthony Burke. Some of his song lyrics are about Celeste. He even has a song called Celeste. And excuse me, a lot of his lyrics are about unaliving her, about how he feels after her death. And it's supposed to be all pretend, but there's like music videos where he's cleaning off the shoes that she was wearing. And people are wondering, like, was he doing that? Like, those are really her shoes. Was he really cleaning her shoes to like cover it up on a music video, like in real life? People are wondering, like, what is part of the music video and what is real life? It's just wild. So that is the David situation. So guys, we have, hi Brian Rambles, hi Ro, hey Wolf Angel. We have new picture new pictures for Idaho 4, and that's really what I wanted to go live for today. And it's not so much what you see in the pictures, it's what you don't see in the pictures. So a lot of people might look at these pictures and be like, nothing of note. But let me tell you, we'll find something of note. I literally scrolled through these as fast as I could at 7 in the morning today. I didn't see much of anything really, but I think that's what tells us a lot, is that we don't see things that we know we should see. So I'm going to share them. See if I can make it a bit bigger. That's about as good as it's going to get. So they start off here with these car tire tracks, which is interesting a little bit to me because supposedly to the G's, they had the white car on day one. They had that video on day one. So it's like, well, then why are you taking pictures of these? There's a lot of pictures of these car tires, which is in front of the house. Lots of them, lots. They measure them. Yeah, tons of, you're right, Katie, Tigo bitties. Lots of tire impression thingies, tire marks, measuring them, literally tons of them. My thing is, while I scroll, I was specifically told that they have over 7,000 crime scene photos. Obviously, we know some of those are going to be, of nothing or accidental picture or getting the focus right, stuff like that. But there's still obviously tons of freaking pictures. And the thing to me is what they choose to let us see, what they choose to dig through and put out, to me is complete gaslighting. It's a complete slap in our face. They know they're giving us nothing, but they're trying to say, like, look, we're transparent. We're giving you pictures. No, you're picking and prodding at the pictures, and you're giving us pictures that are basically nothing. That's what they're doing. And it's so, so annoying to me. It's like they think we're all just stupid. No, we know what you're doing. You're plucking pictures to act like you're being transparent when you're plucking pictures to not be transparent. How come in none of these pictures do we get the knife sheath? Look at, still going. Tire print. That has nothing to do with anything. Or maybe it does. Then we get to the back of the house here with the garbage, and they're taking a picture basically of this window here. Hey, Pumpkin. Hello, Miss Lucy Morningstar. And this window. And a look into the kitchen. What really bothers me about these pictures is we still don't get a timestamp. And I think that is noteworthy. There's a bunch of stuff that I notice is missing from these pictures. And then she's taking pictures of those hand marks on the window. Left hand. Close up. And the fact that so many of these pictures are blurry and like it's just ridiculous. Like they have no idea what they're doing. Or they do, and they're doing it on purpose, which is probably more so the case. And then they're marking it off. And then we get back to inside the house. And you can see on this picture here, I wish there was a way for me to make this bigger. I can't do it that way. That didn't do it. Well, you can see in this picture next to, like above the stairs, right in the middle on the wall is where they sprayed some Amido black. So I'm going to tell you that I'm wondering if, and you guys might know this already, but for some reason I never thought of it this way. They did hire a photographer from freaking Temu. You're right. Whoever said that. Hey, True Crime X. Hey, Tattoo Gal. Hey, Frank. Hey, Leslie and Billy. So they talk about what was it? Was it a hand mark or a smudge or a dripping or whatever was on the handrail down to the first floor? We don't actually visibly see red fluid on the handrail. So did they find that with the Amido black? Because if that's true, obviously, then there's an obvious cleanup, right? And I saw what I believe is proof of a cleanup in some of these pictures. Thank you, Miss Bianca. Bianca has one gifted. Dun, dun, dun. Just in time, because don't forget, we have our giveaway on Thursday. Yippee! Yay, Brandon. Good to see you. Good to see you. Brandon, don't forget, Thursday is our very first members only live, and I have a giveaway on Thursday, but you must be present to win. And I promise I won't make it like not worth your time. It'll definitely be better than nothing for sure. But just remember, it's just the first giveaway. I want to do one a month, and hopefully they can get bigger and better as we go on. So here we go, kitchen, where they moved everything, and they're tracking all this Amido black onto the floor that they sprayed. 1 second. Sorry, I'm extra nose runny today. Okay. The speaker. So we can see on the left-hand side here of the wall where they sprayed the Amido black. And we see that one drip, that big drip, is really dark. And I don't know if that's just the angle. I don't know if that has red fluid in it. It does look like there might be some traces of red fluid on the wall above the handrail where it looks like some Amido black was sprayed. It looks like maybe a hand mark or something. So to me, this says that whatever was on the railing where they said it was, unknown male DNA, must have been cleaned up, because we don't see the actual red fluid on the wall or on the railing at all. Yeah, there's some staining on the steps for sure. Wasn't this cup the one that is, 1 second, it's covered up by the chat. This one on the bottom right, wasn't this cup standing upright with a straw in it in one of the pictures or some of the pictures? I'm pretty sure it was, right? We saw in some pictures where that cup was standing up. So how did the cup get smashed and looking like that? What, the next morning? So they're just stepping on evidence? Unbelievable. That's crazy, right? How could it get like that? Super careless. That's ridiculous. What if one of the perpetrators, like, not that they'd bring a drink in, but these days anything's possible, you know what I mean? Like, what if that had DNA on it, or, fingerprints or something? Not that somebody would bring a soda pop in to commit a crime, but if it was a situation that some people think it is, where it's people they know and they were already in the house, whether cleaning, whether hanging out or whatever, and something went left, you know what I'm saying? At this time, they didn't know what happened. So the fact they're just sitting here stepping on evidence is crazy. In hindsight, we know that it might not have been a bunch of people and friends hanging out, although it still could be, who knows? But in hindsight, we know now, allegedly, but to step on, that's ridiculous. Sorry, I'm over focused on that. That's kind of irritating, because it just shows how careless and how terrible this investigation was. Now, I do have to say, I'm shocked that Dylan was walking around with no shoes on. I would be afraid to step on something. Like, I know it's a college party house, but ouch. You can see the Amido black in this one a little bit better coming down the wall, which is a strange place to spray it. I wonder what they were spraying. That's a little strange. Maybe, Carol, maybe they got thirsty and ordered them a soda pop. Yeah, definitely. Oh, I agree, Brian. I definitely more than one. Yeah. And yes, pictures were taken on different days. There were some taken that day, the 13th. I believe this is now on the 14th, the next day. And there was some taken at night, all sorts of stuff. And here's the kitchen. They've already got stuff moved around. Kitchen again. The kitchen, this one's not new for sure. I don't understand the point of this. I don't understand the point of this. Here's my thing. To me, these pictures, it's not that I don't understand the point of them. It's that, to me, these pictures should show. Oh, thank you, Leslie and Billy. That is so sweet. That is so sweet. Hey, Texas Ranger. Thank you so much, Leslie and Billy. I appreciate you so much. So it's the lack. I know we've said this a million times, and that it's the lack of red fluid. But when I say that, I specifically mean, okay, they want us to believe that it was one intruder that happened to lose their knife sheath on the first victim, basically. So they're walking out of Maddie's room after being in a fight, after however many wounds at that point, would probably be 40 or better, 50 maybe at that point. They don't have the knife sheath, and they're walking out of the room and down the stairs. There would be droplets out of the room, from probably both the person, their shoes, but for sure on the weapon. They would be walking and it would be dripping. Like, there's just no way that that's not happening. And that's why people think either that's not where they became deceased and they were placed there, or It was all cleaned up. One of the two. Yep, exactly. They don't know which were taken first since the fridge died and they lost the blood sample mixtures that would tell the order. Wild. I mean, it's like them coming out and saying the toxicology showed that nobody had anything in their system but alcohol. Okay. People don't just leave their rugs sitting out. We got the cars again, cars again, cars again. Well, interesting. What kind of car is that? Like, my goodness. That car could have been any car from the neighborhood. We see one right here. Obviously lives there or, is parked there because they know somebody there. It does look like when I took a quick glance at all these houses around here, it does look like some of them have cameras. I know on this house to the right, it's like a light blue color with the truck in front. It looks like they have a light fixture. Now, I'm not sure if that's like one of those camera light things. I know they come in all different shapes and sizes and everything else, but that could be a light or it could be one of those camera things right there. Ah, let's see. Oh, same view. Okay. Same view. Same view. What's that? Oh, my goodness. I just did that to the wrong screen. Let me see if I can zoom in on this real quick. I want to see what's in the yard here if I can. Oh, looks like alcohol. What's this? Is that snow? This little white piece by the garbage? Um, nope. But is that the glove right there? Sure is. Here's the glove. I don't think I can put I don't have a like a highlighter or anything, but this black glove right here is next to this white thing, isn't it? Or is it down more? I can't freaking see. Let me back out. Whoops. There we go. Yep, there's the glove right there. So Payne's a liar. We already knew all of this, but hello, USA Kiwi. It's just, yeah, you guys are so right. It's just the fact of how awful these pictures are. Like, what were you even taking pictures of? There was no focus on anything. So I was going in and trying to see. It looks like maybe just a light. Oh, that's what I wanted to look at in this picture. This is where it was blurred by the garbage. slow, slow, slow. Let's see. And I noticed there is something back there. It won't let me zoom in any more than that. But I see. Okay, so remember when I found that thing where the officer was walking out of the house and on his body worn camera, they were blurring what looked like something to be just above or behind the dumpster. And it wasn't the garbage bags or what was in the garbage bags. And I thought, well, maybe that's a camera back there attached to this apartment complex. And it does look like there's something back there in two different spots. Obviously, look how blurry this picture is. Like, they're not zoomed in, they're not taking a picture of anything. Like, it's just so blurry. And I can't tell if it's like a camera or not because I can't get it to be unblurry. Dirt. See, that's where the camera is, and that's what it looks like. And that looks similar to the other one I saw. Bronx is in the Midwest, actually. Right by Chicago. So I'm actually really, really close to Nika. Nika's Neuro Nuggets. I believe she works for a specific hospital. I'm not gonna out her as where she works, but in my job, that's the hospital that I have for what I do. So kind of a small world. I don't remember hearing or seeing or even a report on checking the dumpsters. I know they checked a specific dumpster, but I don't know if they checked all the dumpsters. It looked like, now I had pointed this out before, like months and months ago, but it looks like there might be a camera on this building to the left. And it was up higher. Let me see if I can get in a little bit more. It's hidden by the branch, but there looks to be a camera system on the building closest to us in this picture where the branches are on the upper right corner on the first building. But it's covered by the branches. Maybe there's another one that shows it a little bit better. Yeah, you're right, USA Kiwi. They didn't check the small trash can outside the kitchen sliding door. Yeah, they didn't. Crazy. Oh no, what happened? What did Steven say? Oh. Oh no, Steven, that does suck. Pinched nerves. Owie. It's because pinched nerves, especially in your spine. I had one before. It was in my thoracic, so like right in the middle. And I totally feel you because that is a constant pain and nothing helps it. And it's just aggravating constantly. I feel bad that you're dealing with that because that is really crappy pain. And they don't do anything for you either. And that's the bad part. Guys, I'm going to blow my nose instead of just sitting here wiping it over and over. Give me a second. Oh, no. Whoops. Sorry, guys. My whole computer and everything just Oh, my Lord. Okay. All right. Front of the house, front of the house. Like the siding is falling off. Honestly, I mean, the house is weird, but I think this house had potential to be really cute if they would have taken care of it. I know it's weird, but it's kind of, I mean, it could be cute. Like if you fence this off and stuff, um, shoot, Bronxy would love that yard. I still can't believe this black cooler looking thing is still sitting here. Nobody's, how is that not evidence? Why would you not? I can't. These people are so awful. So, so awful. Stephen, be careful. Do you believe in like chiropractors and stuff? I know I was on the fence with them for a while just because I wasn't knowledgeable, but I did see one repeatedly like twice a week for a couple of months and it helped a little bit, but if you haven't seen a chiropractor, you might be able to get a little bit of relief if you see one. Oh, thank you, Bianca. Another gifted. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Texas Ranger. A fusion in your spine? Yeah. Oh, you're more advanced than that? Okay, yeah. Thank you so, so, so much, Miss Bianca. Appreciate you. Really, really appreciate you. All right. So these are just pictures of the woods, basically. That van. Aw, Bianca. Look at you. Thank you so much, girl. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Bianca. Aw. All right. Back into the woods we go. See, they call it the woods, and even Kaylee, or you know what I'm saying, the friend said the dog would go into the woods when Kaylee would take out Murphy and stuff, but it's not like, it's just a couple of bigger trees. It's not like a deep wooded area, you know what I mean? There's a parking lot right behind here and houses, and it's not like super duper thick. Yeah, I don't think they checked any of this garbage. I mean, did they even like take the screen? We've seen some of these pictures. See, on that side, it's just like two trees basically. You can see right through it. That dang lunch pail thingy. Mm. Oh, okay. I was thinking that was a different angle. I was trying to zoom in on all these houses back here to see if there was any sort of cameras or anything. That one might be. Oh, I just did it again, my lord. Let's see. Let's see. That looks like it is just a light. Is it? Uh, What is that, guys? Do you see it? Is that a light or is that something else? I have no idea what I'm looking at. There's like a black little piece and then a white rounded looking piece. It does look like a light. I know it's probably hard to see because it's already hard to see, right? Everything's freaking blurry in these pictures. But is that above a door? Is there a door? That's weird. It looks like it could be a light. It looks like it could be a camera. My guess would be more so that it would be a light, but it does look like it could be one of those. Like there's a camera above that white part. I didn't see any cameras over on the other house. Yeah, it looks like it's a basement. And like the door is like, I don't know, that's a weird little setup. Like it's obviously an underground basement, like a basement. But it's like a walkout basement. I don't remember seeing that chair. I do not remember that chair. Why don't I remember that chair? The one in the back, the rounded looking one. Yeah, this one. Why do I not remember that? Just probably overlooked it way too many times. Oh, there's something interesting. Well, I found it interesting. When you go up to the third floor, it's in these pictures. I find it a little bit interesting. All right, cars. I just can't for the life of me understand how even the officers that went in and checked on Xana walked into the room, how did they not track any red fluid anywhere? That's what I want to know. How did so if these pictures are from the next day, wouldn't they have then already removed the bodies? And if so, how did those people who were removing the bodies not track any red fluid anywhere? I'm really struggling with the lack of red fluid being tracked around the house. There's like 100% obvious signs that there was a cleanup. It shows 100%. I have to find the picture when we get to it. I'll call it out. See, we don't see red fluid on the wall or the handrail. So that was definitely cleaned up. We've got the same bathroom pictures. Same bathroom pictures. Like, why is there so many close-ups of this? I don't understand. Mm. I do have to be honest. I expected to see more like dust on the top of this airflow thingy and on the PVC piping and stuff. I just expected to see more dust in this room. There's some dust. There's some dust on top of the heater thingy. What is that thing? I don't even understand why they're giving us pictures of like the maintenance room. They know exactly what they're doing. So the stairs again, which really there's nothing of note for these stairs. I mean, I think it just makes it more clear that the unknown male DNA they found on the handrail and the wall over here in red fluid was obviously after they sprayed the amido black, because we can't see it with our naked eye. So that was definitely cleaned up. And Dylan's just walking around with bare feet on this. Oh, wait, what is that? Hold on. Good freaking riddance. If I do that one more time, you guys, I keep pressing the wrong button. Let me zoom in on this one and go over and see what that is on the stair. I'm looking at this red spot. Let me move the chat. It's just above where the chat was. Whoops. See if I can zoom in a little bit more just to make it more blurry. Is that red fluid? Is it? Is it? Probably not. It's probably somebody's gum. Maybe. Who knows? Could be. I don't know. I don't know if I think it would still be that red 24 hours later. We got stairs. Oh, also, there's the other Doc Martin, guys. It is halfway under the couch next to the pillow, the striped pillow. Aw, thank you, Officially Bubbly. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. My goodness, that's so great. Thank you so much. Beer stain. Big Red, Christina. It should be. That's exactly right. Oh, what? Lisa says that house should be covered in it, and it should be. There should, at the very least, at the very minimal, we should be seeing tracked red fluid from when the officers went in at the very first, when they checked on Xana, when they walked through the crime scene. And if these pictures are from the next day, then we should see red fluid tracked around the house from removing the bodies and, things like that. And we know that we have seen pictures from the next day or however many days later when they sprayed the amino black. There's pictures of after the amino black was sprayed, which means it's now 2-3 days after the crime. And we still don't see any red fluid tracked anywhere throughout the house. I understand that it dries, but when you're removing the bodies, there is still going to be red fluid that has gathered, coagulated on the floor, maybe still runny, that you're going to have to step in to move the bodies. You're going to have to. They had wounds that were bleeding out. Like, it's just not possible. And I don't understand how we don't see any of that. Saltzilla says, in my opinion, some people tried to clean it all up, but there was so much. When the sun came up, they gave up and left. I do think there's obviously been a cleanup. I think as well that after 8 hours had gone by, I think that they were like, okay, like it's been too long. We have to call now, like, or else if we let more time pass by, like we're going to get in so much trouble. That's what I think. But yeah, so we have the other Doc Martin, which is strange. I don't remember seeing the other Doc Martin in the photos. I always thought there was just one. We've got, well, the knife isn't on the table anymore. The table's moved. I'm still curious if this chip bag is the chips that Bethany got. Remember, she said she grabbed a bag of chips? I don't see anything on the short wall. Oh, we've got a downward view. It just doesn't make sense how you would have red fluid on the handrail, but not tracking it with your feet down the stairs. Makes no freaking sense. See, we don't see the red fluid on the handrail. It had to have been cleaned up. I'm curious how this pillow that says Mary on it, how is that white pillow so clean? That looks like out of place to me because the white pillow is clean and this house is a filthy mess. You would think it would have stains on it. Hey, Karmic Retribution. Good point. Yes. The towel on the kitchen floor is out of place too, right? Like, hopefully we show it again. We can see it again because now I want to look. I also want to go back and look at the stairs again because I want to see if there's any little spots that are cleaned. And I don't mean like wiped clean. I mean little spots. Like, I'm just going to get this part off. They got mouse traps. They got socks up there. TV's moved. There's that Doc Martin. They have another mouse trap. The lights, the couch. Another white pillow that looks fairly clean. Just strange. What's in the book bag? Can we tell? Is there anything in the book bag? Like, I know there's something in there, but what is it? No idea. The couch is broken. And then we have to ask ourselves, was the couch already broken before this crime? Who knows? I mean, look at the side of this ottoman. The side of the ottoman is filthy, right? So how are the white pillows so white? It's just weird. Like, that is one white pillow. You cannot tell me. Hold on. Hold on. Let me go back to this sock picture. I'm sorry if you guys aren't interested in like what I'm kind of trying to like dig into here, but look at these socks. There's no way that somebody was walking around in this house with those socks on and how clean they are. If somebody was walking around this house with those socks on, they would be much dirtier than that. Look at that sock and that pillow. That is crispy white, baby. The unmoved cups. But yet, Bethany says somebody fell into the table. Look, there's the handprints from. Is it? Hold on. Mother of Lord. Help me. Help me. Okay. These are the marks that are red fluid from. That doesn't. Hold on. Remember the knife that Hunter put down was literally like on top of, right next to these red fluid marks on the table, and they were red at the time. I know some time has probably passed and they don't look the exact same color, but why do these have a tail? These red marks have a tail, which means there was some sort of velocity to it. They were in motion before they landed. That's the only way they'd have a tail. Unless he like put his hand on the table and pressed, like down to make the whole fingerprint appear like that long. Otherwise, that looks like a tail, and so those would have been in motion. That's weird. That looks weird to me. Very interesting. See, they said that there was red fluid all over this short wall. We don't see that. Well, this table is fairly clean. I don't see a whole lot of dust on it. And then, so do you guys think this is red fluid? I'm going to zoom in real quick. We're going to go down and look at this power strip thingy. Do you guys think that red mark in between the two plugs, do you guys think that's red fluid, or do you think that's like food or, a stain of something else? I'm not sure if that's red fluid or not. It could be, but I'm not 100% positive. Is that a dime? That's wild. I have a thing with finding random dimes like on the ground. Too bright for red stuff. Yeah, I thought when it dried it would be darker than that as well. It's just weird. I don't know. It could be, but it also could not be. And the only reason I say it could be is because I also remember the girl on the train, when her blood came out, it was so bright. So let's see. Are these red fluid as well? Or is that something else? Interesting. What do you guys think? Do you think that's red fluid? Or do you think it's something else? Because, when we saw the red fluid marks, like smudge marks that were by the knife that Hunter put down, They looked like that, but the color was different when we very first saw those pictures, right? Like when he first set it down, the color had more of a red tone to it. And now that we see the next day that even his smudges, if they're from him, have dried and now they don't have as much color, I'm curious if maybe these were red smudges as well at some point. And now that they've dried, they're just a little bit lighter, just like the other ones. So here's the step. I feel like that's a good view of the step. So Dylan's room would be right here then to the left where that little opening is. And then here's the step to go down or go up. So whoever she saw, like let's say they were 5'10" when, you know, she looked at them from her room and she's like, I don't know, they look like maybe 5'10". Well, they were on a platform that was higher than her already. So that would make them 5'8". Kitchen. All right, we're getting to the stairs to go to the third floor. And I saw something. I'm not sure if it's in this picture or not. I think there might be red fluid on the window, but I'm not 100% sure. It totally could be something else. I just want to know if if this mop is wet. That's what I want to know. I want to know if the mop strings are wet or whatever they use. There's the step. Is that red fluid? Doody 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 doody. Da, 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 dee, dee. These pictures are just like you can't see anything, you can't tell anything. What's that on the ground? Looks like a footprint of some sort. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a dang minute. Oh, I thought these two were like super clean. Just those two. And I'm like, wait a second. Why would just those two be super clean? Wait, are these towels? Are these the oh, there it is. Yep. Is that the towel you're why would there be a towel right there? That's the one you were talking about, huh? Yeah, I do think that was the one with the new screws for sure. 16? You are a size 16 shoe? Holy crap. I'm curious at this point, like, what's been moved and what hasn't? Is this towel from before, or did the officers use this towel for something? Oh, thank you so much for joining. Christie's foil is tinned. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's not a conspiracy if it's a fact. Ha ha ha. Thank you so much. Love to have you. Love to have you. This towel's in the body worn camera. Kitchen. Wait, what's up there? Maybe a game or something? Hi, David. There's just no way Dylan's walking around without shoes on. These people are walking around with white socks and they're barely dirty, yet this house is freaking filthy. Okay, so these are before they sprayed the Amino Black, obviously, but also before they sprayed the one next to the slider. We've basically seen these. The table, the speaker. What's that? Dagnabbit? What is that? I don't think they ever put a marker here, did they? Let's see. Hold on a moment. Do you guys think that could be red fluid? Red fluid drops of any sort? Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, it could be. I mean, it has like that brownish reddish hue to it. Well, at least from this angle and this light. Could be. Wow, we see one. Oh wait, is that? If you look at the wood part, there's a mark on the wood that looks like it could be as well. Maybe. Well, guys, there's one or two blood droplets. Like Jesus. I might have already passed the thing I was going to show you guys, but that's okay because we can go back. There's a couple of things I was going to show you guys, and I got sidetracked with looking at the dang pictures. The sink. Oh, whoa. Wait a minute. Is that rust or is that blood, guys? We're going to play a game. Rust, red fluid. Which one is it? Guys, do you think this is rust or red fluid on the sink? It looks like it could definitely be red fluid. Ocean's Blue. Thank you, Ocean's Blue. We have an answer. Yeah, it definitely could be, especially if you take into consideration where a lot of people thought that the kitchen is where they obviously were getting cleaning supplies and maybe even putting towels down on the counter. And that's how they got the, bright blue from the Amido Black to pop for protein. I mean, it definitely could be a red fluid drop. It really could be. It could be ketchup. It could be red fluid. It could be rust. Who knows? But the thing is that it could be. There's a fly. And that's wild. That is wild. I don't remember seeing a marker or anything there. Interesting. And for the record, if you see the paper towel, there's no red fluid on that anywhere. But when they do spray the Amido Black, it turns really dark blue in little spots on the paper towels. just so you know. But there is not red fluid on there. Well, that we can see anyway. The dang kitchen. There was one cabinet I wanted to look at. Whoa, what is that? Broccoli. No, I'm just kidding. It's rust or red fluid. Rust or red fluid. Let's see. What's that look like? That looks like food stain to me. Food stain to me. Let's check out this rug. What do we got on here? I wish these rugs were white. It is just so wild to me. This is that there's no red fluid. Trying to see if there's any inside the cabinet. Dun, dun, dun. Inside the cabinet? Yes, no, maybe so. I don't see anything. Oh, that's what I wanted to look at. Was it that one? No, not that one. There's another cabinet that to me looks like it might have red fluid on it. Refrigerator. I feel like the outside of their refrigerator is pretty clean. Like it looked like it was just cleaned. Ew, ew, ew. They have that. Ew, look at that lettuce. Gross. I know we're all guilty of leaving something in our fridge, but that's gross. That's gross. Josie grossy. What is on the counter right there? Butter? Cheese? Ew, I can't look at that. That's so gross. I do not want to see the inside of anybody's dang dishwasher. Grody. A plant-based book on the top. Nada nothing. The pantry. What's on there, huh? What is on there? What is that? Peanut butter? That does look like it could be peanut butter, actually. Food. I don't know why they need to take pictures of food. They keep taking this picture, or at least they keep showing this picture over and over and over. I feel like I should be seeing something and I'm missing it with the mop and the broom. Is this the one? No, I don't think that's the one. There was something I wanted to show you guys. Oh, wait, did they take a close-up of it? Like, these are the dumbest pictures. Why are you... Oh, like, what is the point of this one? Seriously? So here's this light up on the third floor, and Obviously, it looks like it's on. I don't know how much light it actually gives, but it would be enough for people to be able to see up there, I think. I thought was a little interesting. So you can see, I don't know if that is like maybe there was a hole in the wall and then they like spackled it back up, or if this wall is dirty and that's where it was wiped and cleaned. What do you guys think? Do you think this is just a spackled wall where it was painted over a brighter white? Or do you think this wall is dirty and that's where it was cleaned? Do you guys see what I'm talking about? He said, "Oh my God, a camera." It's a light. You think it's painted? I don't know. It's hard to tell, really. It could be where the wall is really dirty and there was maybe blood on there and they scrubbed it off. Or it could be where they, spackled or painted in a different color. It just doesn't look really uniform enough to be like painted with a paint, like a paintbrush or something. It looks weird. Hi Donna. With bleach, yeah, definitely could be. You think it's clean, tattoo gal? I think it's cleaned. I'm gonna be honest. I think that's where it was cleaned. It doesn't look like it has the amount, like the formation that it would, or the pattern or whatever that it would have with a paintbrush or paint roller. It looks like it was, wiped. Pretty interesting. Here's a different angle. I don't know. It looks wiped to me. And then here we have what looks like possible, oops, possible red fluid. Where'd you go? There you go. Do you guys think this is red fluid? That's tiny. That's ittle baby red fluid if it is. Gosh, these pictures are awful. Like, if you thought, first of all, the lack of day and time stamp drives me nuts. But if you're taking a picture of something like that, wouldn't you put a marker down by it and then zoom in and it should be like the clearest picture you've ever seen? That's what that should have been. Oh, thank you, Bianca. Another gifted membership. Thank you so, so much, Bianca. I really appreciate that. It could be. It definitely could be droplets. I just think that I don't know, the lack of having a marker there and zooming in and things like that is like, why would you not? Why would you not just do it? Even if it's not red fluid, why would you not just do it? That light. Oh, that's another light, a different light. So two of those lights would have been on then. So you could definitely see in that area at night for sure. What is this? What are they showing us? Uh, Looks like a smudge of some sort, but I don't necessarily see any red fluid smudge. I don't see anything. I have no idea. I don't see anything. just the hallway floor, I suppose. There, you guys, there's no way that an intruder or the perpetrator came in there and did that in that room and walked out of here with the knife sheath still on the bed, holding a weapon that they just did that with, and whatever they hit Kaylee with repeatedly in the face, and there's no drips. No drips at all. None. And it looks really clean. Like the floor looks like it was just cleaned. That floor doesn't look like the kitchen floor. It doesn't look like the second floor, living room area. It definitely doesn't look like the first floor stairs. The fact that they redact pictures and then the stuff that they redacted in the bathroom above the toilet, I'm like, why would you even take time to do that? These same pictures, I don't think there's anything in there. Ew. What is that? Ugh. You know what else is weird? Has anybody seen any dog food or a dog bowl? Nothing. No red fluid. Nada. Is that? Let's see. Yeah, I haven't seen any it looks like leftover throw up. Yeah, I haven't seen any dog food or bowls or anything. And yeah, I agree with you, Fizzy. Miss Fizzy, my love, with the cutest puppy, that it could be in Kaylee's room for sure. But I do know they took pictures. Obviously, we all saw it, partly in Kaylee's room, and I didn't see any in there yet. But it could be in the corner or by the closet or something that we can't see for sure. I'm not saying it's not there. I just haven't seen it anywhere. And I'm not going to say all people, but most people keep their dog's food like in the kitchen or, by the table or in their own little spot rather than in someone's bedroom. Um, but I'm trying to see if this is red fluid at all or if this is just the wood underneath the paint on this dresser looking thing. That looks like the wood underneath the paint. I'm just shocked that there is no tracking at all, not a drop. They want us to think that they left the sheath on the bed or whatever, this invisible sheath, and then walked around with a dripping red fluid filled freaking weapon. And then obviously somebody's walking around with a cut on their hand because it's on the handrail that was obviously cleaned up because the only way they could see it was by spraying Amido black. So that was cleaned up. We've seen the wall is cleaned up. I was going to show you another wall that I saw was cleaned. Look, they were covering up a freaking wine glass, you guys. That's what they were redacting in these pictures. What? You took the time to redact somebody with a wine glass in a quadruple homicide case? That's what you were redacting? A wine glass? Somebody's got too much time on their hands. They're putting a marker by a cigarette butt. It's a Camel menthol cigarette. See? Camel menthol. Camel menthol. Hold on. What's on it? Knit, 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 knit. Oh, oh, is there red fluid on it? Is there? Maybe. Not the dirty part. You see this little part at the top of the cigarette that's sticking out? It looks either burnt or like there's something red on it, but I think it's just burnt, to be honest. And then we have these gosh darn dang stinking digital, or not digital, snappy cameras. I think that's so weird. I mean, I haven't seen one of those since I was like 19, 18 or 19, back in the year like 2002, 2003. So I want to go. That's it. That's the pictures that they release, guys. It's a total gaslight. It's a total, we're transparent. We're going to release crime scene photos, and there's nothing in them. I do want to see, there was a wall that I wanted to show you guys, and it wasn't the one that I was talking about a minute ago. I want to say it's this wall. Not 100% sure. There is definitely a wall in here that was cleaned, that was wiped, because you can see it. It's not the bathroom. It's either the first floor or the third floor, but you can see where it's wiped. Let me see if I can find it really fast. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know if it's this one. That's just, it's not the upstairs part of the wall. It's not that. It was like the angle they got the wall in. It's like you could tell that it was wiped. Let's see. Nope, 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 nope. I'm really annoyed by them that this is what they decided to pick out of 6,000 and something pictures to show the public, that it's like super gaslighty. But all they're showing us is I don't think it's this wall. It's not. It's got to be the first floor wall. You can see where it was wiped. Is it that one? No. No. Let me go back up. I might have to dig for it. Is it this one? Nope. I might have to dig for it, guys. But there's a wall in here I saw that is definitely wiped. It is wiped up for sure. Yeah, there's no red fluid. You guys, we're not seeing what we should be seeing. We should be seeing red fluid tracked by shoes. I don't care if they had covers on them or not. We should be seeing red fluid dripping off of weapons, even off of people. Like, we should see, we've said this a million times, you should see Xana's own footprints in her own fluid. They tried to say that maybe Xana met one of the intruders on the stairs, and they knew that because Xana's red fluid was dripping in the hallway. We don't see that. We see that one tiny drop on the stair, but there's not a marker or anything next to it to prove that it was red fluid. We don't see the amido black on it. I don't even think they even took a sample of red fluid that was on the floor in Maddie's room or Xana's room. I don't think anybody took samples of that to even see whose red fluid that was. And if they did take samples, they never tested it. And that red fluid, those droplets in both of those girls' rooms could have definitely been coming off an intruder's hand or arm or whatever. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's the pictures they gave us. Like, what's the point? What is the freaking point? They literally know they're giving us nothing. It's ridiculous. There's an angle that shows the red fluid on the house as well. If that's even red fluid. I know we had a long discussion about that one day, if we thought it was actual red fluid or not. How many picks total? This batch is 602. Remember, mainstream media got a batch of pictures, but I want to say there was like 10 in those, maybe, right? Like 10 or 15. And then there was another batch that had like 300 and something, right? So probably 1,000-ish, give or take. Maybe less than 1,000. Come on, where is that picture? I don't think it's that one. Yeah, I'm going to dig for them. There were a couple things that I saw in these pictures that I don't know. They weren't a big deal at all, but oh, it's right here. Yeah, it's right here. It looks to me like just below the handrail, like up closer to the right side of the picture, below the handrail, like not in the middle, but a little bit below the middle, you can see like marks on the wall. And to me, it looks like somebody was like trying to wipe something above that. I don't know. There's stuff dripping down, but it's not from Amido Black. Obviously, it's not sprayed yet. There's like stuff dripping, and there was an area that looked like it had been wiped up. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's what they gave us. It's total bullcrap. But we did find the missing Doc Martin. It's just ridiculous. No red fluid. Somebody spilled something right here. There's no way there's no red fluid being tracked or dropped, dripped, anything. But there's also no way that Dylan didn't hear this. I don't know how Bethany heard something, but Dylan didn't hear it. And then yet Bethany's saying it's all coming from literally right outside Dylan's door. It's just wild. I think there was a bunch of lights on in the house. There's obviously string lights, but there's those other can lights. There's signs and those lights on the stairs. Like, I think it was fairly bright in there. So for whoever to say that Brian Koberger waited for the lights to be shut off and everybody go to bed and then everybody was sleeping, when they know from day one nobody was sleeping in that house. They all have defensive wounds, pretty much. They were all awake. The only person that maybe wasn't was possibly Ethan. But even then, there's red fluid all over the side of the bed there that looks like he fell out of bed or was already out of bed, or there's something that happened next to the bed right there, for sure. Yeah. Obviously, yeah. The freaking smell. And then we've got all the doors in the house open, so much so that it broke the HVAC system in the house, that the heat broke in the house because they had both the doors open. It had to be so cold in there, so cold that the heat broke. But you're telling me those two girls in there just hung out, didn't notice how cold it was, didn't notice the smell of bodies or blood? How? They had to have. And there is obvious signs of a cleanup, because they said that there was obviously unknown male DNA on the handrail, but you can't see any red fluid on the handrail. So it seems to me that the only time they found that was when they sprayed the Amido black. There's obviously not a latent print outside of Dylan's door, or a red fluid shoe print outside of Dylan's door. That was obviously cleaned up. They only found that. I'm pretty sure the red fluid they found around the house wasn't visible to the naked eye. It had been cleaned up, all of it. I mean, think of how much you can get done cleaning up in 8 hours. One of you has a car or access to a car, can take all the stuff and throw it in the laundromat. I don't know. All right, guys. That's it. I'm going to take Bronxy to the PARK. Oh, for sure, Steven. Steven says fresh blood, even aged blood and guts and everything have a very strong, overpowering odor. And when you pass, you lose all your bowel movements, your urine, everything like that. All of that, everything about being unalived, but unalived to where all the blood is out of your body, smells horrific. It smells horrific. And then you got to think how much time was passing by that point. Like, there's no way that those girls sat in there and just didn't notice that the heat, like, sit there and think about that. You hear somebody, like, we know the whole situation, right? You hear somebody screaming, "I'm going to help you," and crying, and a thud, and Murphy barking constantly. Then the heat isn't working and all the doors are open, and then it's freezing in there, and then it smells. And you're trying to tell us that these girls just sat there like, let's get on Indeed. Let's look for a job. Like, what? Ridiculous. Thank you so much to the mods. Thank you to everybody who did memberships. Bianca, so much. Leslie, for the super chat, super sticker. I appreciate everybody. Thank you. Christy's foil hat is tinned. I appreciate all of you. Don't forget, Thursday will be our first ever members only live. I have a bunch of new members to add to my spinny wheel for the gifts. Other than that, do something nice for yourself. Be kind, but more importantly, be kind to your animals. No problem. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I really love all you guys. I'm so glad that I got to see you on Monday and Tuesday. Yay! All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Have a good night.